Jamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Gaur Haribo, Haribo, Gaur Haribo. Vishwapad Paramahamsa, Parivrajacharya, Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Santa Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Jagadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai, Vrindavan Mathura Dham ki jai, Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki jai. Granthava Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, because they're usually marking here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 4, Text 19. Iti avedita hardaya. Iti avedita hardaya. Mayam sha Bhagavan paraha. Mayam sha Bhagavan paraha. Iti avedita, thus being prayed to by me. Hardaya, from the core of my heart. Mayam, unto me. Sha, He, Bhagavan, personality of Godhead, Paraha, the Supreme, Adidesha, instructed, Aravinda Aksha, the lotus-eyed, Atmanaha, of himself, Paramam, transcendental, Stithim, situated. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When I thus express my heartfelt desire unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the lotus-eyed Lord instructed me about his transcendental situation. Purport. The words Paramam Sthithim are significant in this verse. The Lord's transcendental situation was not even spoken of to Brahma when the 4 verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9, 33, 36 were explained. This transcendental situation compromises his dealings with devotees engaged in transcendental loving service, as exhibited here as at Dwarka and Vrindavan. When the Lord explained his specific transcendental situation, it was meant for Uddhava only, and therefore Uddhava particularly said, Mahyam, unto me, although the great sage Maitreya was also sitting there. Such a transcendental situation is hardly understood by those whose devotion is mixed with speculative knowledge or fruitive activities. The Lord's activities in confidential love are very rarely disclosed to the general devotees who are attracted by devotion mixed with knowledge and mysticism. Such activities are the inconceivable pastimes of the Lord. Mama Ginati Varandasya Ganamjana Sulakaya Chakshunurvitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Panchakalpatra Vasya Kripasinde Vaishakatitanam Pavane Vaishnavibhya Namo. So again, discussing the Lord's pastimes, transcendental qualities and pastimes. Here, as has been described in the previous verses, similar verses, and similarly this particular verse also describes the confidential activities of the Lord and the activities of his general devotees, like explained here. The Lord's activities in confidential love are very rarely disclosed to the general devotees who are attracted by devotion mixed with knowledge and mysticism. So here, further explained in this purport by Prabhupada, that the process of devotional service is that should be pure devotional service. And there are different degrees of service to Krishna, and as explained here, people who are attracted to serving Krishna, maybe with a motive, or is mentioned here, devotion mixed with knowledge, or mysticism. And such the case is many devotees who sometimes join thinking that they may have a particular motive to serve Krishna or to get something in return, perhaps. So there is an inner motive to serve Krishna. But that doesn't matter, because akama sarva kama va moksha kama udharati is explained that if one is full of desires or kama or full of no desire, sarva kama or full of desires, moksha kama or desire for liberation, it doesn't matter, because they have all come to Krishna. And gradually, by the mercy of Krishna, they will be purified, and then they will perform devotional service, pure devotional service to Krishna. Even Krishna explained in the Bhagavad Gita the 4 kinds of men that come to him. that those in need of wealth, those who are in distress, those who are inquisitive, those who really want to know who God is and serve Him in devotion. So these 4 kinds of men. And in the next verse, Krishna says, it doesn't matter, same thing. He says that among all these 4 people, those who, at least they've come to me. But he says, among these 4, actually one who has actually desired to serve me, he's the best among the 4. So we also learn from this here to perform service to Krishna with a desire to please Him. That is pure love. Because people talk about love all the time in this world. Oh, I love this, I love that, I love you, you love me. But we all know what is real love. Real love is actually not just a talk. Everybody knows that. It's your hard work. So when you want to serve Krishna with that pure motive of loving Him in order to please Him, not wanting anything in return, that is pure love. It's not that Krishna doesn't know anything. He knows what is your motive. Even if you have a tinge of desire at the bottom of your heart, but it doesn't matter because Krishna knows everything. He will gradually fulfill that desire. If you want to really serve Krishna, you will get everything. All material things automatically will come. You don't have to separately desire. Just like Prabhupada explains, just like if you have $1,000, $100 already in it. You don't have to separately $100 because it's already there in $1,000. So similarly, if you serve Krishna, param drishta nivartate. Krishna says that those who have a higher taste, they're not interested in the lower enjoyment of this material world. They're satisfied. Atmaram. Just like Krishna is Atmaram. So his devotees are Atmaram, they're satisfied because they have devotional service. They're performing service to Krishna. They're fully satisfied. It's not that when you chant Hare Krishna, next minute your feet is not touching the ground anymore. You're in the air. You're flying like angel. We have to fly within our heart. We have to purify the heart. So it's not that we don't have any desire, but we have to learn to purify the desire. The Pandavas, the 5 Pandavas, and their mother was Queen Kunti. And Queen Kunti is a mother of the Pandavas. Usually mother, after some time, they will get old and they will not, So she was always very beautiful because she had a benediction from the Rasa Muni or the demigods. That she will remain very beautiful all the way. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, the elder Pandavas, was asked that are you attracted to your mother because like lustfully because she is so beautiful? And he said, yes, we do. And even you're attracted to your mother lustfully. So they asked him, what do you do about it? He said, oh, nothing. So similarly, the devotees of Krishna, it's not that we are free from desires, but we don't contemplate on it. We are observing serving Krishna. We don't have time for that. We have so observing Krishna that those things are being pushed aside. So he says here, mysticism, knowledge, and mix with knowledge and mysticism. These things may be there, but we have to see what is the ultimate source of everything, the highest pleasure in serving Krishna. Because people who join the Hare Krishna movement in the beginning, even ordinary cases, the people join and they don't really know. Just like all these students, yoga students, they were sitting here. I was talking to some of them yesterday. We had a question and answer class. And I told them, ultimately, everything is based on love. Because we're talking about the chakra in our body. And then 7 chakra, and the heart chakra, it's about love. So only person doesn't actually have love is rock, stone. Sometimes people always say, yeah, you're stone-hearted. Your heart's like a rock. So the definition of love is that when you define love is through singing, is through dancing, is through various activities that are pleasing to the heart. Like you give someone flower, we give flower to Krishna. We see beautiful flower, we want to offer to Krishna. We make a garland and offer to Krishna. We see this for Krishna's pleasure. So the condition of a heart is that it is full of love, pure love. So when you give that love to something else other than Krishna, then it is mundane. It's not love anymore. So everything is actually based on love. Because, but we have to train ourselves to know what is the real love, pure love. That love is for Krishna. Because everything in this world, it boils down to that. Everybody says that people not do anything if they don't have any feelings. If you don't like anything, you negate everything. Then that kind of people, they usually sit around and don't do anything. This is unproductive. Unproductive. So love means activity. Everything goes around love. So that love is pure love, is pure devotional service. We describe it as pure devotional service. Prabhupada was going to Mayapur, and on the way he saw the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Yogapith, sometimes known as Janmastan, place of Lord Chaitanya's birthplace, or Krishna's birthplace, Janmastam, place of birth. So Prabhupada saw, and he paid his obeisances, and he said, down the road from Krishna's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace is the place of service. Karmastan, service to Krishna. That's Mayapur, ISKCON Mayapur. So when you go to ISKCON Mayapur, it's really dynamic. It's full of activity. It feels really good to be around that area. That is our ISKCON temple. So Prabhupada gave us the highest thing that we are really looking for in the form of these temples. So here, even if you come here to our temple with some desire to just even take prasadam, that's okay. It's offered to Krishna. You're not eating in an Indian restaurant and all this food, spicy food, because it's all offered to Krishna. So here, even if you're enjoying Krishna consciousness, it's very loving, so it's very attractive. Just I was thinking, before I leave, I want to get all the Mangal sweets. And I was just thinking that. I have a plan to get it. So then yesterday I was sitting there, I was taking shower and breakfast, and somehow I was sitting next to a devotee. He said to me, he said, Prabhu, I already have Mangal sweets for you. All packed away. Big box is right there, behind and beside there. All the dry sweets. I didn't ask him. So, if we have a desire to serve Krishna, Krishna will always take care of you. It's not that you have to separately endeavor for it. Just like I live in Vrindavan Gurukul, and I lived a Hare Krishna movement all my life, so I know all these stories and stuff. And in Gurukul, they had a thing that the children are allowed to have money. So I didn't care about having money or not. I always knew how to get it somehow. So usually if you have money, you buy something. I didn't want cloth or anything, or jacket. I just want to buy sweets with it. And so I always made friends with people who has money. And sometimes you say, it shouldn't be like that. It should be equal to everyone, equilibrium. Not me. I want to make... So, there's a motive. But Somehow or another, I always very full on, singing, dancing. I have a desire to serve Krishna nicely, but I also have desire a little bit on the side for not many things, just a little thing. So they were selling rabri. You know rabri? It's milk sweets, very. You boil the milk and it becomes very creamy, and every time you boil it and they take the cream off and place it on the side. By the time all the milk's gone down, you get all the cream. That's rabri. It's really, really good. And they asked me, "You take care of all the milk for the children, Vrindavan Gurukul." I said, "Oh yeah, sure," because I love milk. So they would boil the milk, and on top of the big thick cream. So I love that part. So I was dressing Gaurnita in Krishna Balaram Mandir. So I told the boys, the boy was boiling the milk for the children, he said, "Take up that cream and leave it for me." He said, "No way, you have to share with us." So they said, "It's quite a bit. If you eat all that, you feel sick, even if you're a kid." So they were eating that and they got caught. I said, "Who else is there?" So they said my name. I was dressed in Gaurnita in Krishna Balaram Mandir. So when I came out, they said, "You're in big trouble. You're stealing all the cream from the milk." So the cream of the milk is the essence of the milk. So they said, "You are stealing the cream that belongs to children. So you guys, the three of you will no milk for 3 months. Because when you drink the milk, the nutrition is in the cream. So you take the cream out, you are just drinking water, white water." So I said, "Fine." And I had all the friends in the kitchen. And when everybody goes to sleep, they say, "Hey, come. So I'll go down there and have a hot milk with them at night. So my point is that even if you have a desire, a material desire, but if you're really fixed, it says here, stithim, fixed in Krishna, those things are nothing. Like I said, if you have $1,000, $100 already in it. But we still need to perform our service properly. But if we have some tinged desire, Krishna will arrange. And so I was talking about the rabri also. So they were selling rabri. When you come out in Krishna Balaram Mandir, they have a small shop. We call it in India dokan, Misti dokan, a small sweet shop. And they're selling the rabri from our Goshala, our Goshala, and they're offered to the deity. It's 40 rupees a kg, liter. And how am I going to get 40 rupees? Those days in the 80s, 40 rupees is a lot of money. So I was really desired to eat rabri. So I didn't know what to do, and no one would give me. So I prayed to Krishna Balaram. I prayed, I said, "I'm not serving you with, like it says here, stiram, with fixed devotion, but please, I will chant nice japa, I will serve you enthusiastic kirtan, but I need rabri." I really sincerely desire. I didn't tell anybody, just myself and the Lord, very intimately. I'm not kidding. The very next day, I was in the room at time, in India you can't get away from people, there's always people around. There's no privacy at all. And even if you're in a room and someone's knocking and there's always people coming in, and it so happened a time when there's no one around, like in some unique time, like Krishna put everybody away, and they were knocking. I opened the door, and somebody from somewhere gave me a big lota. In India they have these clay cups, you can get it lassi outside the temple, full of rabri. I don't know where it came from. I said, "Thank you very much. I'll have it, thanks." I took it in and I ate all of it. Usually 1 liter of rabri, you're going to get sick. It's very heavy. Only Krishna can eat. It's like the story of the Kekshara Gopinath. And I ate every drop of it inside, because I knew this is maybe for the Lord's arrangement. And I even felt like eating the cup. But I said, "No, I'm not that great devotee. I'll just eat the rabri." So I'm just saying this, even practically, if you serve Krishna, He will give you what you want. Actually. So it's not that We serve Krishna and Krishna takes everything away. You're only left with vegetables. You know, sometimes people say, you become Hare Krishna, what are you going to eat? Just vegetables? No. Even non-devotee, they're having vegan food. So much variety. In Melbourne, I'm one of the cooks. People say, I want a vegan cake. We can make really good cake without milk, but it'll taste just like heavenly. So it's no. So Krishna is giving. So it's not that you serve Krishna and suddenly Krishna takes everything away. There's some people have this idea. If you serve Krishna, God's going to take everything away. He's not going to have anything left. Suddenly, if you have $1 million, go to the bank, it's all gone. No. Krishna will give you more. You know, sometimes the Hare Krishna devotees, before you're a devotee of Krishna, they're skinny like a bamboo. After some time, they're huge. So Krishna is giving, always giving. So the point is, even though we have all this facility, we have to remain fixed in Krishna. We should not become attached to anything other than serving Krishna. Because those things will automatically come, even without desiring it. But to get bhakti, love for Krishna, love for God, that's what we strive for. We have to work for it. Those things doesn't come. Krishna is always there. But if you really want to love Krishna, if you really want to be with Krishna, if you really want to go back to Godhead, we have to be sincere. Material things will always come. I'll tell you a village story. There was 3 ladies. In India, you see a lot of women. They go to the temple, they're praying. I don't know what they're praying for. There's always more women than men. And they say, oh, women have more love, like Radharani, they have more love. They have big heart, they love Krishna. Oh, fine. So there's 3 women, old ladies. They used to come and pray. Oh, Bhagavanji, oh, Krishna, please take us, bring us to your lotus feet, back to Godhead. They're really sincere. Every day they were. So one day, the pujari wanted to test them. So he said, let me see if they're really sincere or not. So the pujari hid behind the curtain. And the pujari said, when they are all, oh Krishna, please take us back to Godhead, to heaven, to the spiritual world. So the pujari replied, are you ready? I will take you right now. Are you ready? Right this very moment I'm going to take you, because you're praying so much. And so they all looked at each other, said, we'll come back. Sometimes they're just saying, they're not sincere. So this is the thing. We should not make a show of it. We should be sincere to serve Krishna. Just like we had this kirtan. I can't do this kirtan like this on my own. If you're all dancing and enthusiastic, so you're all together, it becomes very powerful. It becomes really good. So even if you have motive and desire in your heart, when you're all doing it together, then we are being checked. Yeah, Prabhu, you're in Maya. You're not chanting japa nicely. Sometimes we are really good at it. And I remember when I first joined the temple in Mayapur, sannyasis, they had a water gun under the chadar. They go, shh. They're sleeping, they wake you up with a water gun. You're thinking, where the water's coming from? They had it, sannyasis. And then sometimes when you're sleeping in Bhagavatam class, they would have a gong stick they throw at you. If you do that these days, they put you in jail maybe. They probably never come to the temple. So those are very rough. So Krishna is always there for us. But don't worry about material things. We have to, of course, work at it. Try to love Krishna from the bottom of your heart. And those material things will gradually disappear. Jnanadipena bhasota. Like the other day I was telling you. Like the sun lights up the whole area, dissipates the darkness by the power of the sun. So you have to be in the sun. If you're stuck in a room full of darkness, your curtains closed, your eyes closed, then you're in ignorance. So if you want vitamin D, you will go out, you do exercise in the sun. You know, in Australia people love the sun. Yeah, every time we go to the beach, people lying there. Hardly anybody in the water. They say, oh, I'm getting suntan. I'm not in the suntan. We already have it. So the point is, we have to have the desire to purify our heart. Cheta darpanam marjanam bhavamaha davakni nirvapanam. We just sang this morning. Our heart has to be cleansed by chanting the holy name, by associating with devotees. But it's not that suddenly your heart's going to be so clean and white. It takes time. It takes time. Just like a Prabhupada gave example, it's like a fan. You know, fan is going in full speed. We have fan here. And in India they use fan all the time because it's very hot. So you can put it number 1, number 2, number 3, and 5. 5 means full speed. It's really hot. So when you turn the fan off to 1 or completely off, it still keep going for a while. Similarly, this example is given by devotees. When you chant Hare Krishna, your devotee, still the fan's going for a while. So desire is still there. Still we are serving Krishna as some motive. But gradually, 20 years, 30 years, the fan's turned off long ago. So we expect it to become pure and Krishna conscious. So don't worry about, not getting this, not getting that. Work on your devotion to Krishna. Work on your japa. Work in the association with devotees. How I can become a better devotee of Krishna. How I can be enthusiastic. Utsaha nisaya dayat. These are the prayers of the devotees to Krishna. How I can serve you nicely. When you don't have this kind of desire, there means something wrong with us. I'm here so long, what's going on? I'm not still getting the blessing of Krishna. Krishna is always there to bless us. Like some temple they have Radharani like this, right? What does that mean? Radharani's blessing. Blessing unto us. So she is blessing the devotees. So if you want the blessing is there. Prabhu, please give me blessing. You can be blessed, but you have to become Krishna conscious yourself. We initiated devotees. I am now initiated. Now I can do whatever I like. My feet doesn't touch the ground anymore. I'm flying like an angel. No, we have to still work at it. Our sadhana, we still have to work on chanting japa nicely, cooking for Krishna nicely. Now, so many years, you still cook the same thing. Learn different things that you can cook very good food for Krishna. So many cookbooks are there. You can download from the YouTube, right? So you have to have that enthusiasm to become Krishna conscious. So this verse says here, Paramam Sthithim, Atmana Paramam Sthithim. Transcendental, which is situated. Sthiti means situated. You have to situate yourself in the transcendental, spiritual knowledge, transcendental situation, and transcendental consciousness. Otherwise, we're going to be still struggling in this material world. Of course, okay, who is not struggling? Everybody's struggling. But our struggle to serve Krishna, our struggle to chant japa, this is part of the process to practice Krishna consciousness. Abhyasa yoga yuktena. Krishna says, constant practice. And yuktena, to engage in Krishna consciousness, you have to constantly practice. Just like those milk sweets. Whoever's making them, they learn how to make it so nicely. Nice round shape, designed so nicely. A lot of work in there. Cook the milk down, and it takes 5 hours. I know where devotees make it. And when you bite into it, wow, I want another second bite. And there's people deliver boga, dry goods to our temple. So I want to give him one burfi. So no, thanks, I already had my lunch. I said, come on, you take this, you're going to want more afterwards. So he said, okay. He said, wow, really good, give me one more. I had it in my pocket. So The idea is to make it so nicely and attractive with good qualities that it will attract Krishna. Krishna is pleased. Then we can give to others. There was a devotee in South India. He used to make a garland, beautiful garland, and he used to put it on himself and check himself in the mirror. That's the worst thing to do. You don't make a garland and put it on yourself and offer to deity. It's become maha. So he was doing it. He used to put it on himself and look in the mirror and how he looks like. So they said because he was only doing it, so how it's going to look nice on the Lord. He was trying himself. I wouldn't dare do it, but he has that attitude. So his intention that he is wearing, so it's going to look nice on Krishna. But we don't recommend anyone to do that. But you can see it. So we can do things for Krishna for his pleasure. And if we have that kind of intention and in sincere desire, Krishna will give you intelligence to serve him nicely. It's not that I am the doer, I am doing this, I am so good at it. But we have to have that attitude. We have to change our attitude, devotional attitude, Krishna conscious attitude. Then Krishna from within will give you intelligence by which you can serve him nicely. And that's what Krishna says. You can come to me, I'll help you. So then to do that, we have to pray to Krishna. We have to, like we're saying, Hare Krishna, please engage me in your service. Please give me intelligence to serve you nicely. That should be the attitude. Because you don't have to worry about getting a cup of rabri. It's full of it here in New Govardhana. That Prabhu gave me a big box of sweets. Not sweets, just fruits. I was thinking, I don't want fruits. I want the sweets. And so I digging through, there was a sweet underneath. I said, oh, thank you, Krishna. Yeah. And then just one sweet. Like the story I was telling, the Ladu story. Just one sweet. I'm never happy with one, I have more. Even I've aged it, I don't mind having second one. So then, underneath is all this juice. So I was drinking that juice. It's rabri. He must have put some rabri in it. So I was drinking rabri, and I'm not favorite the bananas, full of bananas, a little bit of mango, and there's all this rabri on one sweet. So everything is available here in this temple. All our temples full of very opulent. You don't have to worry about anything. Prabhupada has given us everything. That's why I'm emphasizing we just have to work on something difficult to get. That is, work on devotion to Krishna, love for Krishna. Study Prabhupada's books, become scholarly, learn Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada wanted us to learn every page. Go on distribute books if you have time. So now everybody is already a devotee. Not really. You go to Murulamba, if you go down there, hey, Haribol, then you don't have to preach because everybody is devotee. I haven't seen anyone doing that. There's a lot of work to do. There's so many people are not devotees. When I first came here, I thought every Aussie was a devotee. Yeah, really. Because I never saw a white guy except a devotee. Everybody in India, all Mayapur, all Hare Krishnas from Australia, America, they're all devotees. So I thought everybody here is Hare Krishna. So then I came with, shaved hair, with midanga, my own midanga, saffron, dhoti, like iron, really clean, because I'm going to meet all the devotees here. So when I arrived, and they said, show me your passport, what are you doing here? I'm like, I didn't think it's going to be like that. I was totally wrong. So, there's a lot of work here to do. Krishna consciousness is so much work for us to do, but that work is good, otherwise we'll be just sitting around. So here, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, you don't have to do anything, people are coming here. You don't even need to go there, people are coming here. By devotees' mercy, Prabhupada's mercy, we have this wonderful temple. So our temple is a place of education, a place where people come, they can learn about Krishna consciousness. Like all these guys here from the yoga center, I'm surprised you're sitting here.
in the class. And all these devotees here, they're thinking, when are you going to join up and be with us for good? That's in our mind. I'm telling you, they're probably thinking the same thing, but I'm only telling you. And there was one person, he used to say, this Hare Krishna, he used to throw stones at us. Now he's a manager of our temple. He's a Hare Krishna. So sometime when you, there comes the Hare Krishna, then you become one of them. If you have that. So if we have that kind of a desire, sincere desire, we have to come to the level of sthiram. Sthiram. Fixed in Krishna consciousness. Fixed. But that takes time to be fixed. We have to work at it. Like if you're sick, then you take ginger tea and this and that, medicine, you go to Ayurvedic doctor. You always have to work at it to get rid of the sickness so you can become healthy, isn't it? So material life is an unhealthy condition, a disease condition. Oh my Ganyathi, a disease condition of life is in ignorance. If you're in ignorance, then you have to get better. Take medicine. So the medicine is associated, sadhu sangha, associating with devotees, chanting Hare Krishna, associating with the devotees who can cure us. They're the doctor. Krishna is the supreme doctor. Chant Hare Krishna, all the material desire, gone out the window, and you suddenly feel really fantastic. Really. You have to believe it. Whenever I go to the doctor, they give me a big list of medicine. I come out in the bin. I'm still okay, I didn't take it. So they just were selling their medicine. But we are selling the Hare Krishna mantra, not selling, giving for free. Every town and villages, the holy name. That's why you're chanting the chanting. Just now we did the kirtan. It's so ecstatic. I'm 55. I was playing the mridanga. I'm sure none of you guys can keep up. That spiritual energy. That energy comes from Bhagavan, from God. So if you have a sincere desire to become steady in Krishna consciousness, He will from within, He will give you that's a steadiness. But you have to have the sincere desire. But if you're thinking, I'm going to eat a burfi and a pakora and made out of paneer, then when you die, when you leave, you're going to get a pakora and a burfi. Don't think spiritual world doesn't have these things. It's full of it. If we can get it here, they will have it too. But you have to have Krishna. If you're with Krishna, you have everything. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, wherever I am, there's victory, there's religion, there is everything is there. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So you have to be with Krishna, Krishna conscious. And all the things will come. Victory, you will be victorious. Krishna. Any questions? Quickly. Thank you very much for allowing me to come here. And this is, whenever I come to New Govardhana, I feel just like in the 80s. Because everybody's here from that time. Retired. I went to Sydney for the Vivid Festival. Somebody from here came. And Pratapna and Jai Sri, they were saying, you are a retired Mridanga player. I say, whatever you say, I can still bash it. So we may be retired, but chilly. But like I said, we have the spiritual energy. So here we are. I feel really, really good to come to New Govardhana. I actually didn't have a plan to come to New Govardhana because I came to Schoolies, the Harinam in Gold Coast. I said, if I go to Gold Coast, I'm going to have to come here. So I made an extra trip to come here and for 5 days because I love this place. We used to come down in the 80s, big Sunday Arati, take the kirtan out on the lawn like that, remember? So it's still the same here, and it's even better. So many devotees here and feel privileged to come here like that. And I'm thinking of coming again and Govardhan Puja because they're saying, there is really good festival. They bring the big shalagram and Sripading and big kirtan. I want to be here. Definitely. Yeah. the kirtan, So, no questions? So thank you very much for having me here, and Hare Krishna. The Prabhupada ki jai.